Hey guys, thanks so much for stopping by the channel. This is Son of Liberty. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about how can we take our training to the next level. And what I'm referring to is incorporating training tools such as this into our live fire practice. Now what I've got here is a SIRT pistol from Next Level Training. This actually helped me solve a lot of the issues that I was experiencing recently, and I'll share those with you. About 6 months ago, as a shooter, I felt like that I had just plateaued. I had just hit a wall and I was not progressing as a shooter, and it was really frustrating. So one of the things that I started working on is, because I couldn't be at the range as much, and as well as the cost of ammo, I started working on a lot of different practicing drills and stuff like that here at home. All right. So I would be downstairs, I'd be working on, pulling the slide back to a slide lock, doing mag reloads, concealment draws, prepping the trigger, those types of things, right? Well, the other issue that I was having is that my wife has a tremendous fear of firearms, okay? So what was happening is all that training that I was doing, and especially since I started to amplify that training, that amplified her fears, okay? And that's something that I don't want. So about 2 months ago, I got my hands on a SIRT pistol, and I had been wanting to get my hands on one of these for a long time. A lot of the shooters that I really respect in the shooting industry use these and incorporate these into their training. I've attended several training facilities and classes to where they've actually used these in demonstrating different techniques and those types of things. So once I actually got this in the mail and I was able to explain to her that this is completely safe, it doesn't matter how many times you pull the trigger. If you try to put a live magazine with live ammunition in it, it's not going to fire. It is, a completely safe pistol. And that really gave her a peace of mind. Because it gave her a peace of mind, it gave me peace of mind. And I was able to really focus more on my training, which was critical, all right, to becoming a better shooter. So real quickly, before we get into the details of this, I want to talk about how I've been able to incorporate this particular pistol into my own personal training. Let's take a look. So I've been able to tweak older techniques and older training to really more advanced stuff. And these lasers help me do that, okay? But let's talk about some of the features. What I've actually got right here is the, quote, Glock 17 model, or the Glock 17 replica, all right? You'll notice here that I've got an M-Force weapon light, so this fits in all of my holsters that my Glock 19 does, as long as it has an open bottom. Any Picatinny rail or anything that will fit on a Picatinny rail is going to fit on this. Okay, you'll notice there in some of the video I was running a Surefire X300. Also, you'll notice here that this has very, very similar sights to the factory Glocks. All right. Now, what you can actually do is you can actually replace these in the same process that you do the factory Glock sights. Okay. So, for example, if you're running a set of fiber optic sights on your carry gun, you can buy an additional set to replace these so that you are looking at the same sight picture every single time. Okay. Which may definitely benefit your training. Okay. Another thing here is that this has detachable magazines. Okay, and you can actually buy additional magazines. So let's say you're getting ready for a match, right? And you've got 4 different pistol magazines set up. You can go through the whole process, and these are at the full weight of a fully loaded Glock 17 magazine. Okay, so very, very cool. It's got a magazine release there that you can see, just like the standard Glock does. And this weighs almost identical to the weight of a full-size 17. Now, for you Smith & Wesson lovers out there, they didn't forget you. They've actually got a M&P full-size version of this. Okay. And also, there's a couple different options depending on what color of lasers that you want. Whether you want double red, if you want red and green, those things are going to change the price of it. Okay, these pistols start at $239, which is roughly a case of ammo. Now, one thing to really keep in mind, we can put a specific price on ammo. We know that a case of ammo is 1,000 rounds, and once that 1,000 rounds is up, unless you reload, it's over, right? It's really hard to quantify the level of return that you're going to get on something like this, because this is far going to exceed any case of ammo any day, because this, you're going to continue to keep using this far beyond those 1,000 rounds. Okay, and I can tell you that in the 2 months that I've used this, I have far exceeded 1,000 trigger pulls on this. Okay, one of the things that I had mentioned before was that this actually helped me overcome one of the personal goals that I had. Now, speed is not everything when it comes to being an overall good shooter. It is part of it, though, in my opinion. One of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to get 2 shots on target at full extension in less than a second from concealment, starting in the surrender position. Now, a lot of people, they don't care about speed, and that's fine. It's just like anything else. Sometimes we have to measure ourselves so that we can see how far that we've grown. People that are really into working out, that's the reason why they max out, because they want to see their return on their hard work. Okay. Once I got this training pistol, I started focusing a lot on implementing some of the training that I had picked up from Decisive Action. And speaking of those guys, stay tuned. If you are not a subscriber, I'll be doing a full review of that class coming up next. But one of the things that we talked about was finding your body's natural point of aim. Okay, because the reality is if we draw our firearm, right, and if we're only trained to draw that gun and present it at full extension right before we pull that trigger, we're setting ourselves up for failure. Okay, so one of the things that we were talking about, of course, is bringing the pistol at once you've cleared your garment, or once you've cleared your holster, bringing the pistol close to the body and using your body's natural point of aim, right, in order to start being able to put rounds downrange. Okay, because we may never even get to a point or a position to where we can ever fully extend that gun. Okay, we may finish the entire fight from the hip, as they say. So one of the benefits to this, because of the lasers, this helps you find your body's natural point of aim. Okay, so you're not actually out there just going through a bunch of ammo to try to find your natural point of aim. Everybody is different. I found a spot, if you will, on my hip to where I was actually able to rest that gun, and no matter where I looked, the gun went exactly, and I was able to put shots directly where I wanted them to, and that's critical. You know, one of the things that we have to understand is no matter the circumstance, we're still liable for every round that comes out of that gun, okay? Whether we're in a compromised position or not. So this really helped me achieve that and achieve it more effectively. You guys saw me doing that particular training in my garage with my dummy. This also, while I was incorporating this, I was practicing on getting more shots from that hip position as I was fighting my way to full extension, okay? So what I was able to do is not only exceed the 2 shots really in less than a second, I was able to get to 3 shots in 1.03. And I've never been able to do that before. I've really worked a lot with this SIRT pistol over the past several months, and I can tell you that I am seeing the return on the time that I've spent with it, guys. So if you guys have any other questions, please leave those in the comment section below. I am going to put a link directly to their website, so if you're interested in purchasing this today, there'll be a link to where you can purchase your own, guys. All right? And until the next time, take care, be safe.